The most successful man in the city was drowning on dry land. Khalid's world was a symphony of efficiency. The gentle hum of his luxury car, the sharp ping of notifications from his phone, the satisfying click of his pen signing lucrative deals, these were the rhythms that governed his life. At 35, he had a portfolio that was the envy of his peers, a penthouse that scraped the clouds, and a schedule that was meticulously color-coded. Yet, in the silent spaces between these sounds, a different, more disquieting rhythm echoed, the frantic, hollow thumping of his own heart. He felt it as a constant, low-grade unease, a spiritual static. It was the feeling of being profoundly, inexplicably lost in a city whose every street he knew. His success was a magnificent, towering structure, but it felt built on sand. He was drowning in a sea of his own achievements. The catalyst was a Tuesday. A merger he had worked on for months collapsed due to a factor no one could have predicted. The loss was staggering. That evening, standing on his pristine balcony, watching the city lights twinkle like a field of indifferent stars, he felt the entire facade of his life crack. The unease wasn't in the background anymore. It was a screaming void in the center of his chest. Desperate for an anchor, a memory surfaced. His grandfather, a simple man with hands gnarled from a lifetime of carpentry, but eyes that held an unshakable peace. On his deathbed, he had held Khalid's then 10-year-old hand and whispered, "Never forget the first call, my boy. It is the anchor in every storm. It is the rhythm of the remembers." Khalid had never understood what that meant. Now, adrift and desperate, he felt a pull towards it. The first call was the adhan. The rhythm was Salah. The next morning, instead of heading to the gym, he drove to the oldest mosque in the city, a modest, sandstone building tucked between modern glass giants. He felt a profound awkwardness as he removed his designer loafers and placed them in a crowded rack. Entering the prayer hall, the air was cool and still, smelling of clean carpets and faint oud. A handful of men were scattered around, some reading Quran, others in quiet contemplation. Their peace was a tangible thing, a stark contrast to the churning anxiety in his gut. The call to prayer for far began. The muadhin's voice was not melodious in a trained way, but it was powerful, raw, and filled with a conviction that vibrated in Khalid's bones. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! When the congregation stood to pray, Khalid, self-conscious and clumsy, joined the back row. He mimicked the movements, standing, bowing, prostrating. His mind, however, was a world away. It raced through the failed merger, his angry investors, the emails piling up on his phone. The physical motions felt alien, the Arabic words a meaningless stream of sounds. The prayer was over in minutes, and he left feeling nothing but a strange physical stiffness and the impatient urge to check his phone. As he returned, he began watching YouTube videos to learn the correct movements and the meanings of the recitations. He learned that Sami, Allahu liman hamida meant, Allah hears those who praise him, and that in the prostration, he was closest to his creator. Intellectually, it was beautiful. But in practice, it remained a hollow exercise. His body was in the mosque, but his mind was a captive in the boardroom. He was performing the action, but he felt no connection, no foundation. He was just going through the motions. One evening, after a particularly disjointed Maghrib prayer, he lingered as the mosque emptied. An old man with a kind, wrinkled face and a snow-white beard was slowly folding a pile of prayer mats. He was the mosque's caretaker, Uncle Tariq.